let's talk about. Oh, what's up with the hand?
I think I broke it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I broke it in the second round.
Do you remember the exact punch you threw?
Oh, yeah, no, I remember stinging it. I remember, like, stinging him with it, and I was like, oh, that's not good. Maybe I should turn these into elbows. And then I still stung him with one in the third, and I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
But it's funny, you say you heard it in the second round, but in the third round was when you really came on. But that's when you, like, your output went up another notch in the third. So you were able to put it past you anyway.
Oh, yeah, I mean, at this point, I was like, I broke it in the fight, so what am I going to do, sit at home for a couple months with a broken hand? Might as well just go out there and start slinging it.
Were you surprised how many shots he was able to take?
No, I actually watched his fight with Nasrat like right before we came to the venue, and I was ready for him to be able to take a punch because Nasrat rocked him a couple times, and he still was able to come back and survive. So I was pretty content with how it played out, and I knew if I hurt him, it was going to be a challenge to take him out because he's a tough dude.
Yeah, he didn't land very cleanly on you, but he did get a couple of shots on you. Was there any time at all where you thought, oh, better take a step back here, or did he touch you and hurt you at any point?
There was one punch, I want to say a right hook maybe, that I was like, ooh, I don't want to get hit with that again, but there was nothing he ever landed that I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, everything he landed was kind of either glancing or like I blocked it with my gloves or whatever, so I was never really like hurt or like really in danger or even like kind of worried about getting hit again.
That said, went to the judges. Were you a bit nervous as they were reading out a split decision?
Not really. I mean, after the fight ended, I was pretty certain I won, but I was a little disappointed that I got a split instead of a unanimous. I thought, I pretty much won the fight. I could see, maybe if a certain judge scored takedowns more effectively than strikes, but he never really did anything with the takedowns, and I don't really feel as though he did anything with his striking besides kick me on my leg and that one hook. So I was very confident going into the decision I was going to win that.
So overall, happy with your performance?
Yes and no. I mean, with a 10-month layoff like that, the first round was kind of me getting back into my groove, and then the second and third you saw me start to pick it up and kind of get in my own rhythm, and I started feeling myself talking to him and kind of hit my swag. But at the end of the day, I think if I get the chance to go back to the lab at ATT, work with my my training partners, my team, and my coaches, and like really get back to where I was mentally, I think you're going to see a lot better and a lot more violent of a Bob Ross out there. I think I showed a huge amount of growth between the last time you guys saw me and now, and I think all there is now is just room for more growth for me.
So we're hoping that the hand doesn't keep you out for another 10 months or something? We hope you can get back in there as soon as possible?
Unfortunately, I think this hand's going to keep me out for a little while, maybe a month or two, before I can actually train, because it's hurting pretty bad right now. But I actually, that was something I was talking with my managers before coming out here. And, when I first signed with the UFC, I took the approach of taking fight after fight after fight, and I got like 7 fights in less than 2 years in the UFC. And not a lot of guys do that when they first sign. And it's not that I want to take a slow approach now, but I've kind of seen what I can do when I allow myself the time to truly grow between fights. So I do want to take the time to heal up and add some more tools to the toolbox, because I feel as though every time I've come out and performed in the octagon, I've been able to show some new stuff, and I just want to keep being able to do that.
Cool, man. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, sir.
I know when we saw you just the other day, you said the fans are going to see the violent Bob Ross everybody's been wanting to see. When the fight starts happening and maybe that doesn't start going that way, does the growth that you've experienced get you over that hump and maybe not let you get caught up in, oh, I thought I was going to come out and just manhandle this person? Does that experience and that growth that you've had in this time off get you through to, as the fight goes on, you just deal with it? Or is there a part of the fight where you're like, man, I thought it was going to go much easier when I was in here?
Oh no! I mean, as far as me saying I was gonna go out there and show the violent Bob Ross, I feel as though I kind of did. I put hands on him, I bloodied him up. I know I cut him with an elbow because I remember catching him with it and watching the blood trickle. Do I wish I would have been able to go out there and finish him and hurt him a lot more? Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's just like you said, the growth that I've been able to take in the last 10 months, especially under the tutelage of guys like Dustin Poirier and Jorge Masvidal, I really, really feel as though I've been able to kind of pick their brains, and not only pick their brains, but just kind of get the rub off of them, and that kind of really, really helped me in there. Not necessarily when things didn't go my way, but just staying calm and knowing that it's all gonna come. As long as I just keep on my game and keep playing the game and keep going out there and just trying to fight, trying to win.
Is part of that experience dealing with those guys and the maturation that's happened and the time away help you deal with that hand injury? And what do you tell yourself when that happens? Because especially if it changes up your whole sort of game plan or fight, what do you tell yourself, or what does that experience do for you when you reach that moment and know that maybe I can't use this left hand like I planned to going out there?
Well, for me, it was more. It was the first time anything like that had ever happened to me in a fight. I fought 50 plus times between amateurs and pros, and the first time I've ever broken my hand ever. So it was a little bit of it was a new experience for me, and I don't know. I guess just competing as much as I have, especially with the wrestling, with my wrestling background, like I said, my amateur fighting background. It wasn't even really a thought in my mind, having broke the hand. It was just like another wrinkle in the play. Just kind of like Bob Ross himself would say, you make a mistake, that just becomes a new part of the painting. I broke my hand, that just became a new part of the fight.
So if anything else, you gain a new sense of confidence knowing that you could deal with that sort of adversity and still come out and still perform and get the win.
Oh, 100%. That actually did kind of rejuvenate me going into the third. Was like knowing I broke my hand, and I don't know how to put it. It's kind of like in my mind, in the second, I broke my hand and I knew I broke it, and I was like, oh shit. But then like in the third, or in between the second and third, I tell my coaches like, dog, I broke my hand. And it wasn't like this thing in my mind like, oh man, I broke my hand. It was more like, all right, you broke your hand. You're gonna have to figure out a way to go out there and win it. Just it's kind of like hearing my stepdad David in my mind. He's probably like the parent I'm closest with out of all of my parents, and I kind of go back to his words whenever I'm in situations like that. And I almost like I heard David, in the back of my mind, like, you might have broke your hand, but you still got to go out there and finish this third. You got to figure a way out, and I did it. And I'm hoping he's proud of me.
And I know you have some time to have to obviously heal, but looking towards the rest of 2021, what sort of goals are you still hoping to maybe come to fruition by the end of the year?
Hopefully we can get another fight in by the end of the year, and just keep working towards the top 15, and then eventually here I just want to keep my spot here in the UFC and keep working towards the belt. I feel as though that's the ultimate goal for me. I feel as though it's not some guys, they come into the UFC and they know it's not like a thing that they could ever reach the belt, but I know given time, given some improvements, I'm going to be a title challenger one day.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Just one question. You looked at the camera and you had some words for Kevin Holland. What is it that you think you can help him with, and why? Why would you help Kevin?
Because, Kevin's a big, tall, lanky dude, skinny guy like myself. And I know I got took down, but I got a lot of really good, like, skinny, lanky wrestling techniques from my days of wrestling, and I think I really could help show him some things, that guys built like us can do that other guys just can't, and they never see coming. Like there was a sequence where he got me to my butt, and I had a crotch lock, and he never really was able to settle and actually do anything with it, and I was able to get right back to my feet. And like there's just small things like that you can go to the best wrestling coaches out there, but unless they're they're used to working with the guys that are built like us. They're just not going to know some of those tricks, you know what I mean? And I think I have a lot of really good, long, lanky, skinny guy wrestling tricks that he could use. So Kevin, if you're listening, just come hit me up. I come to you, you come to ATT, don't matter. But I would love to work with you, show you some things that, you know, that could really, really help your game. No offense or anything, because I'm a huge Kevin Holland fan. I love Kevin. He's actually, I was hoping, in my opinion, he was the front runner for Fighter of the Year. I think he got Fighter of the Year, right? So yeah, he's front runner for Fighter of the Year in my opinion, and I'm a huge fan. So there's no offense to it or anything like that, but it was just more one of those things. It's like we're two guys built very similarly, and I think I could help him there.
Just to follow up on that, do you think it's an easy fix with Kevin?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Everyone, I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, it's not gonna be easy for Kevin to fix those holes, or it's gonna be hard for him to fix, you know, the takedown defense thing." And it's really, you know, it's small details. And if Kevin can figure out those small details, and it's one of those things that if you've never wrestled and you never wrestled at a high level, or you never had high level coaches around you, you're not going to know those small details. And it's just really small fixes. I do think it's going to be an easy fix for him if he can just get around the right people. Anybody else? We good? Yeah. Y'all have a good night.